Hello, I'm King Koppa. Now let's get into the episode. I'm King Koppa, okay? Alright, thank you for sticking around. I appreciate you. This movie is Jason X. Came out in 2001 and in some places 2002. In a previous video, I mistakenly said it came out in 2003, which again was a mistake. I'm correcting that mistake because knowledge is it isn't a static thing. You gotta be able to take in new information, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Starring Lexa Doig, the lady on the knife there that's screaming, as Rowan. She's a character named Rowan. And Kane Hodder as the unflappable Jason Voorhees. There's other people too, but I'm not gonna name them because I don't know their names and I don't really like this movie very much. So we're gonna get through it. Okay, what? The Crystal Lake Research Facility. Alright, well, sure, dude. We got this guard here. He's at a console and they have Jason Voorhees in these chains from the ceiling, and he's chained to the floor. And the guard guy, he teases Jason. He teases Jason Voorhees, okay? Well, that goes about how you'd expect. But we'll come right back to that. Out in the hallway, outside of the humongous empty room where Jason Voorhees is being held captive, Rowan, our main character, who is the final girl of the prologue, Rowan is talking to a group of scientists and also armed characters, I guess guards or something, I don't know. You'll see why that doesn't matter in just a second. She's saying that we have to find a way to incinerate Jason or freeze him so that they can figure out a way to destroy him at a later date. Now this guy right here, he's actually played by a director named David Lynch. I don't know, maybe you heard of him. He's made movies. Here's one of them. So the guards and David Lynch walk into the room. They see that where Jason was, and I'll say that where Jason was is covered with a coat or something. They remove the coat and they find the dead guard who was behind the console. Then Jason teleports out of nowhere, you see, because he just teleports out of nowhere, okay? And he starts murder-lating all of them dudes. And then David Lynch tries to run away, and he gets close to the door, but then Jason takes... Well, they're gonna use this neck snare, and he takes the pole, and he launches it at David Lynch, and it kills him. And he dies. But then Rowan grabs a shotgun, and she starts blasting. You know what I'm saying? She just starts blasting. And blasting. And she's blasting, you know what I'm saying? She starts blasting Jason Voorhees. And as we remember from part 6, that really doesn't do anything. She blasts Jason, and I'm skipping over details, but I think it's funnier when I tell it like this, but she blasts Jason until he falls into a cryogenic pod, and then she activates it, because that was her ultimate plan. Because this guy said,
I don't want him frozen, Rowan. I want him soft.
And that's actually disgusting. What are you talking about, dog? Nah, you nasty. David Lynch. R.I.P. David Lynch. Then Rowan, like a dumb, goofy idiot, well, you know what she does? She leans up against the pod where Jason is, and he still has his machete. And then what she does is, get this, she leans against the pod, right? And then Jason stabs her with the machete through the pod, like we all knew it would. But then it leaks out the cryo gas or whatever, the frost. Like the machine used ice beam, and it was super effective, but he broke the machine, so the ice beam got out, and it was super effective against Rowan, and there was an emergency security lockdown. So the entire room that they're in and the pod are cryo. They're cryopods now. Okay, so that was... I didn't like that. I did not like that, okay? I just want to make that clear. That was bad, but I made it through. Now the movie gets terrible. Let's go. All right, so we're in the future now, right? Because basically we just went forward in time. Oh, all right. All right, Koopas. Just be fully real with you. In my opinion, this is the worst movie with Jason Voorhees. Look, it's not called Friday the 13th. It's called Jason X. It's the 10th Jason movie, but it's actually not. It's the 8th Jason movie. You want to know why? Because in number 1, the killer was Pamela Voorhees, his mother, and in part 5, the killer was Roy. Spoiler for Roy. Grrr. We're in the future now, and the year is 24XX. It really doesn't matter. It's fine. Apparently, we got a bunch of morons that are cracking open the Crystal Lake Research Facility because after what happened, nobody ever went back to check on it, ever. Like a bunch of morons go down there and they find the room with Rowan and the pod that has Jason in it. Man, all right. The beginning part of the movie, it looked okay, but the rest of the movie from here on out looks cheap and terrible. And I'm not saying this to disparage anybody who works on a movie set or a movie crew, because that wouldn't be fair to them, because a lot of people work on a movie and nobody wants to make a bad movie, and also a lot of people really enjoy this movie, and I can see why. For me, the dialogue kills it. Let's get into it. This lady bot named KM, she states that the icebox was made in 2010, but the year that Rowan was frozen is never actually stated. It's fine. God, oh my God, they're all insufferable and dumb. Every one of these characters, like this guy right here, this guy Azrael with the long hair, he stands there while Jason, the frosty Jason falls. Like he can't, like Jason's frozen. We know that Jason isn't dead, but he is disgusting. Jason falls and the machete slices dude's arm off. These people are so stupid. They're idiots. So they pack up Jason, they pack up Rowan, because after the room opened, they began to, I guess, thaw out. And if they didn't thaw them out properly, then, yeah, they just turn into goop. And that would be a more interesting movie to watch than this. I'm going to be real. So they take Jason to one lab, and they take Rowan to another lab, and then they use ants and chainmail, and it heals her stab wound through the machine where she got from the machete. It's robot ants, okay? They're plot relevant. They're Chekhov's ants. They're Chekhov's ants, Slimer. Jason is in his pod, or Jason's in science lab 2 or whatever, and he's starting to thaw out on his own because, well, the curse of Crystal Lake. I don't know, I guess the cryopod was filled with ice made from water from Crystal Lake. I don't know, probably not. It's never explained. Jason wakes up and he grabs this girl and he dunks her face in that liquid nitrogen, and this kill is amazing. And on another note, the kills in this movie, they're pretty entertaining. I think the kills in this movie are very entertaining, and largely they're refreshing compared to just, people getting murder-lated off screen, or they just get, poked in the tummy with the machete. That happens a whole lot. Or they get, their neck readjusted. That happens a lot too. Then Jason goes and grabs the boy, and he kills him. But that's kind of off screen. But since we just got the ice kill, we got to give it a little grace. We get a scene with the chief security, Brodsky. He's this dude. He's the dude that gets kicked into the pit in 300. And KM. She's the lady bot from earlier, remember? Brodsky and KM are okay. They're okay characters, and the actors are entertaining to watch. Like, they're okay. It's acceptable. But Rowan, the character, I can't speak to the acting ability of Lexa Doig. I can't really tell in this movie because she's not given enough for me to critique. But the character Rowan is very dull. She is very passive. Well, Jason has fully begun his rampage on a freaking spaceship. Yes, this is Space Jason, aka Spacin, aka I don't like this movie. So he goes and kills Dallas, the bald security guy who also coincidentally wrote the movie because he's played by Todd Farmer. And then he kills Azrael because he got his arm fixed. And then he starts absolutely wrecking the space troops. Because after Dallas doesn't report back in, Brodsky calls in all of the space marines that are on the Grendel, which is the name of the spaceship which they currently occupy. This movie has too many jokes. Like, every character makes a joke or a quip all the time, and it's distracting, and also I don't really like it. To me, this movie feels like it's insulting my intelligence. I mean, which is, admittedly, is limited to bad movies. But I like to be able to watch a movie fail on its own, not fail on purpose and then wink at me like they did something cool. I don't like that. All right, now Jason's moving through the ship, and our boy kills the pilot. And because they were headed towards this space station to dock and offload Jason Voorhees, which honestly he could have racked up a way higher body count if he'd just been patient and didn't kill the pilot yet. If he'd just been patient, he could have killed way more people. Just saying. Well, he causes a big explosion which blows up the space station. They gotta make a new plan. They gotta split the ship into two parts and then keep Jason on the part that's about to blow up, and then they gotta be on the part that's not gonna blow up. You know how it goes. We're leaning into the Savior pontoon plot. And I'll say this, for all the crap it gets for being mediocre, I think that the movie Poseidon is actually quite entertaining, and it does this Savior pontoon plot much better. Alright, Brodsky lived because he's just actually too cool. And now the professor who is leading these group of students, I didn't mention it before, they're all students in a space college or something. And he says the trailer line, and this girl, she panics when they're trying to escape and get to the other ship. And without disconnecting the fuel line, she hits the gas and the spaceship crashes into the Grendel because she's dumb. Everyone is dumb in this movie. This is a dumb movie filled with idiots. It's idiots. And Jason, you're also an idiot because you could have done better. Could have been in a better movie, dog. Alright, now, as a robot is karate fighting Jason Voorhees on a spaceship, I can feel myself dying from cringe. I am not enjoying this. The robot is also an idiot because the robot defeats Jason and blasts him with this big grenade launcher thing, and it blows his leg off and his arm off, and then shoots him in the head, and it blows a big piece of his head off, and the mask is destroyed. But then, remember Chekhov's ants? Well, we got Chekhov's ants. They came back because Jason fell on the table that they came out of, and he broke it. The table's broken, right? But get this. The curse of Crystal Lake activates the machines, which turned Jason Voorhees into a friggin' cyborg like that. What is this? Like, what is this? What is this movie? I thought we were doing a Friday the 13th movie with the summer camp murderer dude. Come on now. I guess we are now. What? It's a hologram. Dang it. This movie tricked me. Cyborg, or Uber Jason as he's known, he punches the robot's head off. Waylander, this guy has been in the periphery going with Rowan and the Ladybot, and the Ladybot's boy. The boy who made her. I say boy because he's, I don't know. I don't care. And there's another lady named Janessa. She's also been on the periphery. She's been a huge contributor to a lot of the terrible lines and jokes in this movie that I find insufferable as heck. Well, Jason punches a hole from the outside of the ship, I guess, and Janessa is sucked out of the ship. But she says this sucks. Yes, it does. And then we got Brodsky sacrificing himself again. knocking Jason into the atmosphere of Earth 2. Working title. We'll fix it later. Wow. Okay, so I actually hated that movie a lot. I did not like it. I thought it was poorly written. As I mentioned earlier, the jokes were insufferable. Characters were insufferable. The kills were satisfying, except for the fact that there was always a joke right after one. It was like, come on, man, let me enjoy this. But it wouldn't, because this movie doesn't care what you enjoy. Okay, wow, that movie was actually terrible. It might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen, except for the fact that I've watched Prehysteria 3. I don't want to hear anybody talk about how bad a movie is until they watch that. You watch that movie. You think Cutthroat Island is bad? At least there's people getting murdered by cannonballs in that movie. Not in Prehysteria 3. We don't get any satisfaction of dinosaurs eating anyone. Remember, Koopas, be kind to people you have no reason to be kind to. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I want you to have a nice day. Oh.